Hi guys, we are going to be doing some seed sowing indoors today, but I wanted to show you why I'm doing it. Last summer, my perennial border, we had such a different spring and summer. Things heated up quicker, things bloomed. My perennials started blooming 3 weeks ahead of time. And then when they finished blooming, I was not on top of water and it got very hot. Who knew it was going to do that? And things dried a little bit, so I had to cut back some of my perennials. You can see that I have irises in here and daylilies. And um, anyhow, what I decided is in late last summer, well, it was probably the middle of July when everything bloomed out and I cleaned things up. I was left with a lot of empty spaces, kind of like what it looks like right now in the spring, which I think is beautiful. But I don't like that in July, August, and September. So I am not an expert at growing flowers, but I have grown cosmos. I have grown my zinnias. I have grown my, I've never done marigolds from seed. And of course, I like my morning glory vines. So that's what we're going to plant today. And I really want to just splatter the giant marigolds, the giant zinnias. This will always be like a little hedge of zinnias here because it's always really pretty and tidy and hides when things are cut off. And so that's what we're going to do today. I'm planning for the summer. These things probably won't go in the ground until June, but I'm getting started on them so they're nice big plants and they'll have a chance to start. A lot of times too, the other thing I'm telling you is once my perennial border's up, if my plants are just tiny little plugs, the sun can't get to them and they can't thrive like they should. And I've figured that out in the last 2 years when I've planted little plugs and they didn't really do as well. They do finally. I want mine big and hardy so they can be put in here and immediately start giving us color. So that's why we're down here. I think and plus everything's looking good. I need to do a walkthrough here soon than later, but let's go up to the house. I've gotten most everything ready to go and you'll see how many trays I have. So we're in the house and I've gotten all the other trays all filled with seed starting potting mix. If you have it, that's what you want to start with. It can be any brand. I've been using this. Reggie and I share this. He starts some seeds sometimes and then I start my seeds with that. It always works well. It's a potting seed mix is loftier than your regular potting soil. And you want to have a lofty mix so that the roots can develop easier and without a lot of struggle. It's all about the root development in your seed starting trays. And I add enough moisture that it can clump a little bit, but it's not wringing out. And you want to start with nice moist soil so that, again, those seeds are in contact with nice moist soil because you want your seeds to stay moist, but not wet, not runny, no dry out. If they dry out, that is not a good thing. Then just tap that right in here. This is my little morning glory tray. I'm going to start. And you want to tap it so that there's not a lot of air holes in the soil. Make a little tap on top, and then you're ready to go. So we're going to go over here, and I'll show you what we're planting today. And I have most of everything ready to go. And I'll show you the seeds. But we have...
Oops, I just got on camera.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
How cool. I love it. So we're set up here. And these, I have my cosmos. Look at those beautiful pastel shades. I love that. And what I love about the cosmos is, I mean, they get nice and tall. They get up to 3.5 feet. But when the wind blows, they just flow. And the more you cut them, the more they come back. Then we have the zinnias. And are these my giants? No, these are the little semi-dwarf. They're called pumilia, mixed colors. And they'll be in the front of the border. They get about 12 to 18 inches tall. We have the zinnia giants, which get almost 3 feet. And these will go in the interspersed in the back in the middle of the border because I like how tall they get and they bloom later. Right here are Sherry's marigolds. They're giant marigolds. They're yellow. And they get, she told me 12 to maybe 15 inches tall and nice big heads on them, which are gorgeous. And then here are my morning glory seeds, which when you get ready to plant your morning glory seeds, they have a hard outer shell. I planted loofah this year, and they also have a hard outer shell. I put these in water this morning. They've been in there since about 8:30. I don't know what time it is now. But what you want to do in order for water to get inside that hard shell and soften it so it'll germinate faster, I have found that using these little fingernail clippers and just clipping a little bit of the side of the outer shell like that, that will allow it to open up, and you can see how it's already allowed the moisture of the seed head to open up. And so we're going to drain that off right now. You want them to sit in water till you see that softening. It can take overnight or just a few hours like today. All right. So now that we've got the seeds out of the water, I'm just going to put them in the soil about a 1/4 inch deep, just like that. Stick them in that nice soil. I use a little. There we go. So we plop those in, wish them well. And I've had pretty good germination. I like to put at least 2 little plants. There we go. And put that one right there. There it is. Okay. The other thing I like to do then with all of my seeds, and you can see, is I like to top them with a little bit of vermiculite. That helps hold the moisture on the top part of the soil so that the seeds can germinate better. And I always moisten the soil on top before I put my vermiculite. And just top it off. It keeps that soil nice and moist, makes it for an easier spot for the little seed to germinate. I want to show you, I left 2 cells open on Sherry's marigold seeds, and these were from her mother. And so when someone gives you some seeds from an actual plant, you need to just look online, figure out what do the seeds look like, and then get rid of all this extra chaff and pick out your seeds. Look how many seeds she gave me with like 2 or 3 flowers. So, and all you do with these, again, they like to be about an 1/8 inch sowed. So it's pretty much surface sown when you're looking at an 1/8 inch sown. And look how nice and big these seeds are. So we'll stick them right in there like that. I'll tap it with a little bit of soil. Cover those up. And it's been this way with all of my seeds this morning. It's so fun. Are these the giants? Yeah, the giant zinnias. Nice big seeds. It's not like trying to plant. I'm trying to think of the tiniest seeds I've planted this year, but it's like those. Stick that right in there. Cover that just a little bit. Put this back in the bag. That and that. All of these take about 7 to 10 days to germinate. And they're going to go down on heat mats. These are the semi-dwarf zinnias. Let's get 4 seeds out of here. You can see I've been in here already. There they are. And I've got their little holes already made right there. So 7 to 10 days. Some could be 14. We'll just have to wait and see. On heat mat and under lights. Cover that up. Done, done, done. Semi-dwarf. A little bit of spray. So this is the last week of March, and our last frost date, they are saying, is May 15th. So we will have 6 to 7 weeks for everything to be ready to go. And like I said, with the cosmos, which are the last ones we're going to show you, I may even pot them up give them a little more strength. Same thing with my zinnias here, the giant zinnias. I may pot them up into a larger pot to give them a bigger plant because they are going to go in the back in the middle of the border where there's a lot more plants. And this way it'll allow them to be ready to go out more. I mean, it's just fun. And these are my cosmos. They look a little bit like the marigold seed. Plop one right there. And if we're lucky with the cosmos, they can reseed themselves. Last year I had a few that reseeded from years ago. And I would like that. Anytime anything reseeds, that makes me very happy. Oh, I did have seeds already in there, in case you're wondering. I did that ahead of time. Okay. This is as easy as it gets. And I have to tell you, I'm not big, like I said, I've only been starting seeds indoors for maybe 3 years. And these seeds are ones that are just, to me, they're easy, they're romantic. They say cottage style garden. And they look so nice in your garden, and you can cut them, and they, what do they call those? Cut and come again or something. But the more you cut them, the better that they survive. So anyhow, try these seeds. All right, I'm going to head downstairs. I've got everything set up, and I'll show you where they're going to stay until they're ready to go outside to be hardened off. The other thing that you'll find when you're starting seeds, you want some type of moisture dome to be placed over top of your seeds. It can be the ones that come with your trays. I've also used just saran wrap wrapped over them. I've got this is an old cake topper. You know, when you get a sheet cake, and I can use that, whatever you can to keep the moisture in. And then also you never, I wanted to show you this too. These are all within a tray that does not have holes, so that when you water your seedlings, you're going to water from the bottom. You don't want to disrupt your seeds on top. So you'll check on these. It's probably 3 to 5 days before the moisture really dries out. And then I just lift this up, and I'll pour just plain water about halfway up the tray until I start seeing leaves. And after they get not their first leaf, but once you see their second true leaves, then I go to half strength fertilizer, which I use Miracle Grow, mixed a half a tablespoon in a gallon of water. Once they develop more than just their first set of true leaves, I go to full strength. So these are going to be on heat mats and lights until we see germination. And then once we see seeds coming up, the domes come off, the heat mat gets turned off, and you get to watch them grow. And these are my geraniums. They're doing great. I have a fan going. Once everything is up and moving on these, they'll also have a fan going on them to strengthen their nice, the plant themselves. So all of these are doing great.
Those geraniums look great.
The geraniums look great. I agree. This is one of the best I've had. And so don't my loofah plants look great, to go out and start climbing on the fence when it's time. I wanted nice, strong plants. And these are my ruffled columbine that I'm real proud of, but I noticed the winter sown ones today are full of seedlings. So I'm so excited about that. Anyhow, so that's it on Gardening on the West Fork. Oh, and the fig tree. Look at this sucker. It has to, hopefully next week, our nighttime temps are going to be above 40, and I can start hardening that off and get it outside because it is just leaps and browns.
Oh, you got figs on it.
We've got figs on it, yeah. So I'll be very cautious when this goes outside, as long as the temps are above 40 at night. Otherwise, I'll bring it in under the deck. But I will take, several days down on the lower deck where it doesn't get full sun and gradually acclimate it back to the outside. But what a gorgeous tree. The figs are delicious. So anyhow, thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork, getting some annuals planted to fill up the garden come summer. We'll see you soon. Bye.